Good evening everybody and welcome to tonight's battle report. It is a quick French versus British skirmish. I'll just quickly show you the forces and then we will do the deployment on the battlefield. So with the British force we have 2 battalions of line infantry, 1 battalion of rifles and then a couple of companies of rifles here, their battalion and then obviously their commander. And then for the French we have 2 battalions of line infantry and 2 small battalions of chasseurs and then obviously their commander as well. So stay tuned and we'll be back shortly with the deployment. So here we are all set up. This is my son. Wave, that's it, there we go. So on the French side I'll be playing the French. I have the 54th and 55th here, and then my chasseurs, I've got both units out on my left flank. Hopefully going to cause a little bit of hassle. Cam on the other hand, he has 2 companies of the 95th Battalion ready out on the flank. Then he has the 71st and the 52nd, I do believe. Just lift the base up and check. I do believe it's 52nd. Yes, 52nd. And then he's got some more Green Jackets 2nd Battalion 95th Rifles out on his right flank. So the objective of the game is, as you can see in the middle, there's some supplies. So this is just a quick scouting skirmish mission, so just a brigade each, and then hopefully we will it's just so that we can kind of get to grips with the rules a little bit. So give me a second and then we'll be heading into turn 1. So British first turn movement, we have the battalion of 95th who moved up to the hedge line. The 2 companies of 95th then decided that they wanted to try and move into the woods, however they failed, which means we're not able to do anything else. However, now it's shooting, so this battalion 95th have rifled muskets which is a range of 24 inches. So they're going to be firing at these chasseurs here, okay?
And these ones.
So it's only 1 unit.
Oh, sad.
So you'll be firing at these ones here, okay? So range of 24 inches, your line, you are rifled light infantry, so that's 3 dice, you are shooting. And then you are shooting at target skirmishers, no. So that's just 4s. 3 dice rolling 4s.
1.
So that's 1 dice, so that's a 6, so they're disordered. So that's 1 and I'll say for myself, which is dilly, if I can find it. Oh, where are they? Not light, just light cavalry. Of a 4. Got there in the end.
I gave him a little bit of a wave while we waited.
Okay, 1 save over 4. Oh no, so that's 1 casualty on them. Okay. And they're disordered as well. So, no, that's fine. So that's British shooting.
Gets 1.
Yeah, so they're disordered as well. So there we go. Right, so
good fun.
Now it is a French turn. So French movement turn 1, obviously this unit of chasseurs did absolutely nothing because they're disordered. This unit of chasseurs did want to move up and engage the 95th into combat, however they only rolled a 7 on their command roll, so they could only move up to there, which does leave them a bit of a lone target. The 2 battalions of infantry managed to progress up and form line right in between the objective and these woods, so one behind the other.
I'm dead.
And so now it is French shooting.
I'm very
so,
dead.
Cam, if you can just measure
See
from
how
the
close
centre.
you are to killing me. Yes.
Measure from the centre of the unit down to your unit. See if we're within 12 inches.
No. You are not within 12
Nope.
inches.
So they're not shooting at anybody. Although,
I'm not
measure
dead.
this one.
Oi.
Measure this one. Yes.
Just
Okay. So
Screw you.
that battalion can fire at the skirmishers.
I roll for light cover.
So that's 3 dice because they're in line. And
want
normally
some
it's
cover.
4s. However, your skirmishers and it's -1. You're slightly obscured as well.
Yay.
Um,
So it's a 6.
so
So it's a 6.
So you're not a clear target, so it's -1. Actually, no, because the skirmishers is covered by the not clear target, so it's only -1. So it's a 5 to hit. 3 dice, 5 to hit.
I'm dead. Oh no.
1 hit. So that's 1 hit. So Cam, you have 1 save of a 4.
Oh. Okay. Please. Yay!
Yes, well done. So that's that. Okay,
That's
so
like 3 6s in a row, I hope you realise.
yes, well, you'll be playing this, don't worry. So now it is on to British turn 2. Okay, so here we go, British turn 2. So, this battalion 95th did absolutely nothing, they just stayed there behind the hedge, I think most probably because they're going to be shooting at those chasseurs, which seem to be out in the middle of nowhere.
You guessed right.
And then obviously the 2 companies in the 95th, which I'm sure 7th some will agree, your pesky little green jacketed so-and-sos, managed to move up into the woods, and I've got a feeling they're going to be harassing my lines from
Absolutely.
the woods.
You
However,
can't shoot me.
for the command roll for these 2 battalions, unfortunately Cam only rolled a 7, which meant he wanted them to move up and change into line formation. However, he opted to just have them form line
Yeah,
at
because
the back of the battlefield.
you're not in range of me, so...
Yes, so he figured that wasn't in range. So, shooting then, British shooting. So, who's going first?
Well, I would like my green guys in the trees to shoot at your line because, well, they can't
Okay.
shoot back really.
So, they are a small unit, and they have 2 dice, and you're hitting on 4s with a reroll to hit.
Eh. I would like to re-roll that one.
Okay, there you go.
Eh. I
So
failed.
that's 1 hit,
Yay.
and I've got a morale save of 4. Saved. Okay, so next one, next unit.
I would like them to shoot.
They're going to shoot at those. Okay, that's not a problem.
Chasseurs.
So the chasseurs, so you got 3 dice hitting on 4s.
You mind giving me the dice? Rather than leaving it in there.
So-
One.
That's 1 hit. You get a reroll to hit as well.
I would like.
1 dice. That's it. So that's just 1 hit.
I'm
So that's
horrible.
1 save of a 4. No, so that's 1 casualty on them.
I feel like your chasseurs are having the most bad luck. Because they just love rolling 1s for their saves.
Yeah, well, they're not too bad. Right. Okay, so now we go on French turn 2. turn 2, as you can see, not a lot actually happened. These chasseurs decided, well, the plan was for them to move as far as they possibly could up to and possibly engage on the 95th. And, well, as you can see from the dice roll, command roll of 8 and I've rolled a 9. And so they're not doing anything like the rest of the brigade. So, French shooting.
Uh-oh. I didn't think of that.
So, normally obviously you would have to shoot at the closest target. However, these guys here, although they may be closest target to these, they are skirmishers and they are in woods, so they're not a clear target. So I'll be firing at these guys.
And they're also not a clear target.
I know, but that's 3 shots hitting on 5s.
So at least expect them trying to roll a 6.
There we go. Oh, lovely.
Uh-oh.
2 hits. And you're disordered as well.
2
So,
saves.
2 saves of 4.
So they can't do anything next turn if they're disordered up, can they?
No, they can't. Right. Take.
Back.
Yeah.
Right, you ready? Come on. No.
No, so that's
2
2
casualties.
casualties on them. Hang on, casualty markers there.
Thank you very much.
So, well, that wasn't too bad actually, not too bad. So, now it is
Murdered.
time for British turn 3. So British turn 3, these 95th decided to stay where they are behind the hedgerow,
Well, they can't move
because
anyway.
they disordered. And Cam managed to roll a fantastic roll of 5 for his command roll, and he basically, what he decided to do with his 2 line battalions to move up as far as they can and engage the enemy. And then these 95ths in the trees are still there, being little pains in the rear end. So British shooting, so where would you like to start?
I would like to start with this lot shooting at your guys.
Okay, so you're in line formation, so that's 3 dice, and there's no obstruction, so that's hitting on 4s.
3 dice, if I do please.
Go on then.
Here
3
we
dice
go.
hitting on 4s.
Yes.
Oh, that's 3 hits and a disorder. So that's
2
3
disorders.
saves of 4.
Here we go.
1 save, 2 casualties and
Ah.
a disorder.
Nearly got you out there.
Okay, so they were nearly shaken, yes.
That would have been really good.
Yes, so they are disordered.
I'll put that there for you. Because you're going to move up your Cheshires next, aren't you?
Well,
Just past the
more
thing.
shooting yet.
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not too much mistaken.
So I
2
could-
casualties for that.
could
So
get
these guys going to be shooting as well.
Absolutely.
So that's 2 dice hitting on 4s.
Ooh, yes.
So
2.
that's another 2 hits.
Disorder.
Only
roll.
against once.
Only 1.
So 2 saves of 4. 2 saves.
Oh, lucky.
Cool, that was good.
Well, these guys are going to be shooting at them as well.
Okay, they're going to be shooting as well. So that's 3 dice hitting on 4s.
Yes, please. Yep.
Well, that's 1 more hit.
Don't
And
save,
1
don't
more
save.
save of 4.
Yes!
No, so that's 1 more casualty.
Shaken!
And that's going to be a. I don't think that's a break test. I'll have to check that in a second to see whether or not that's actually a break test. Okay, so just a quick check, and the guys are shaken, however, there's no test. So now we will get on to French turn 3. Okay, so French turn 2. These chasseurs finally
3.
decided, turn 3, yes, correction, well done. These chasseurs finally decided to actually enter the battle, although all they did was just move up and make a tempting target for these guys. These chasseurs successfully passed the command roll to engage the 95th in hand-to-hand combat, so we'll be doing closing fire on them. This line regiment, the brigade commander joined them in an attempt to rally, however he fluffed it, rolling a 9, so nothing's happened with that. which then meant obviously nothing could happen with these guys. So
That's good for me.
yes, so let's do the closing fire. So you have 3 dice and you're rolling on 4s.
Yes, sir. Ooh,
That's 2 hits.
Love to see that.
If
If you get no saves, then you're shaken then.
I do.
Huh?
I do get saves.
Yeah, I know. If you
Yeah.
if you fail the save, I mean.
And then so there's 2 saves of 4.
Yeah.
There's 1 save, so there's 1 casualty.
Good. At least it's 1.
Okay, so
It means I'm probably going to get shaken this turn, aren't I?
quite possibly we could. Oh,
Yeah.
you should have taken that disorder marker off at the end of your turn.
I'll do that now. They're not
So
moving anyway, so.
this unit is going to be firing at the 52nd. Yep.
Correct.
So that's 3 dice because they're in line and they're hitting on 4s. Though that's 1 save of 4, but you are disordered.
Ooh, yes.
Saved, but you are disordered.
Yes, because it was a 6.
They're disordered. Okay.
Good little transfer
So
of disorder.
next, hand-to-hand combat. So.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm scared.
Um,
They're cavalry.
So I have a small unit. So I've got 4 dice, and I'm hitting on 4s.
Uh-oh.
And you have 6 dice, hitting on 4s as well. So
Yeah, I'll get initiative.
my dice, 4 dice hitting on 4s.
2.
That's 2 hits. So you have 2 saves of 4.
1.
So that's 1. So you get 1 casualty, and which makes you shaken.
Unfortunately. However, I get a nice 6 hits back at you.
Yes. So
Which may mean you're
hitting on 4s.
Ooh, yes, please. That is 4 hits.
Yes, 4 hits. So I get 4 saves of 4.
No.
No. So
You
that's
are very shit.
3 casualties.
You are very shit.
Yes.
You've got 1 guy left.
That doesn't work like that.
Yeah, but if it did, it would mean you only have 1 guy.
Yes. Okay. So
One
that's
more
a
hits.
1 to 2. I'm supported to the rear. You're supported to the flank. So the support is the same. So that means I lose the combat.
Do you want to put a shaken marker
Nope.
on?
So I lose the combat. So I'm doing a morale check with a -3.
Would it be -2?
That's -3. So that's 7. -3 is 4. 4 less. Infantry cabinet unit is broken and deemed destroyed. We remove the entire unit from the field.
Let's go!
Oh dear, so they've gone.
Oh. See, they're the things that scare me, because the last few games we played, the cavalry just held up 2 entire units.
Yeah, well, that's why you shouldn't worry too much about the cavalry. So, when we come back in a second, we will have British turn 4. Okay, so here we go. British turn 4 was rather interesting. Cam opted not to do any movement. Obviously, this first unit is disordered, so they couldn't actually move anywhere. But he chose not to do anything. All he chose to do was for his brigade commander to join the 95th down here, remove a casualty, do rally order, which means that they're no longer shaken.
And also the guys in the trees are annoying you, so
Yes,
that's
so
always a bit fun.
now it's down to British shooting. So
Love to see
who's
it.
shooting who?
Well, first things first, main guys shooting at your main guys,
Okay.
trying to get a few more casualties
So
for
that's-
a little bit of a test.
3 dice, hitting on 4s.
Ooh, yes.
So
Disorder and a
disorder, so it's 2 saves and a disorder. So 2 saves for 4,
hit. Come on.
1 save. So that's another casualty for them. So that's going to be a morale check.
Yes! Exactly
For
what
them.
I needed.
Okay, so next shooting.
I would like this to fire at them.
Okay, so that's 3 dice hitting on 4s.
1.
1 hit. Okay, so it's 1 save of 4. No.
Let's see.
So that's another casualty. So actually, because they're a small unit, so that means they're shaken as well.
Also, I would like to have them range right over here because they have a range of 24 inches, and I know that's
you
less.
normally you have to shoot the closest target, which means that they'd have to shoot at these ones here.
Alright, I'll shoot at them.
Okay, so that's 2 dice hitting on 4s.
They're going to take a morale test anyway, aren't they? 1 hit.
1 hit, 1 save of 4. Saved.
It didn't really matter anyway.
Okay.
Still taking
So
the test.
now morale tests. So morale test for the chasseurs. No, it's not morale test for the chasseurs because they're only shaken. They don't have excess. These guys have excess. So it's a morale test for these with a -1. 6
5.
-1 is 5.
So they're not destroyed.
Shooting hand. The infantry unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation, and at all times avoids contact with enemies. Once it has moved, the unit becomes disordered, if not already so. Okay, so it's got to do 1 full move to the back. So we'll do that. And then as soon as we've done that, it will be French turn 4. So, French turn 4, sorry about that, it took a little bit of time, but then we were having a bit of a discussion as to whether or not we can continue. Because obviously half of my brigade was either broken, as in run away, or shaken. Normally within the rules, any shaken brigades you can't carry on, however we decided because we're only 1 brigade we're going to carry on until turn 6.
Well,
So what happened was obviously these chasseurs have been able to charge into these guys. We did the closing fire, they suffered 1 casualty and a disorder whilst doing that, so obviously they're shaken and they're now disordered as well, which is going to be interesting. This battalion here just decided to stay here because obviously what they're now going to try and do is they're now just going to try and get rid of these little green so-and-sos in the trees. And the brigade commander managed to move back here, and obviously this battalion that retreated, he gave them a rally order and managed to take up 1 casualty, so they're no longer shaken. So, French shooting and hand-to-hand combat. So these guys are going to be firing at those ones in the trees.
Isn't that like a 6?
Eh?
Isn't that like a 6?
No, it's a 5.
Oh.
3 dice hitting on 5s.
I'll take those odds.
And that's no hits.
I like
Okay. So now we'll move on to the hand-to-hand combat. So chasseurs against the British. So I get 4 dice hitting on 4s. 1 hit.
So 1 save for me. Yes, sir. Ooh, yes.
Saved. Okay, so now you get 6 dice hitting on 4s.
Oh, yes.
So that's 2 hits. And that's 2 saves of 4. 1 save, so that's another casualty for them. So they'll be taking a break test.
Yeah, they're screwed.
So with a -2,
yeah,
3, -3. 8 -3 is 5. They're retreating 1 full move.
Oh.
So when we come back, we will be on British turn 5. So British turn 5, Cam decided that he wanted to try and move these up forward just a little bit more so they're in line with objective. However, he didn't quite manage the command role, so they've just stayed where they are. Oh. So now we're on to British shooting. So,
wonderful.
Who's shooting what?
Well, we're going to have a bit of fun with your guys here.
Okay, so
just a little bit of fun.
Who's starting where?
They will, actually no, we'll start with the main lot. Firing at them.
Okay, so that's 3 dice hitting on 4s.
get our 3 dice. Give that a nice hit. That's a disorder. 1, 2 hits.
2 hits, and one of them is a
that'll be
disorder.
2 saves.
2 saves of 4. No.
No.
So there's 2 casualties and a disorder. Oh dear, I don't think this is going to be going too well.
Well,
okay, next.
let's have a bit more fun with these lot.
So
3
that
shots.
is 3 dice hitting on 5s because it's slightly obscured because you've got the objective in the way and you can't get a clear target.
I'll give you that. However, it does not matter
So that's
with
1
another
hit. 1 save of 4. Saved.
Damn. Well, next is your tricky green guys in the trees.
My tricky green. You mean your tricky green guys in the trees? Or
No, your
as
favourite.
or as Seven Son says, those little green bastards. He doesn't like them at all.
I hope you're censoring that. YouTube will have you. It's 2 dice, yeah?
2 dice. Hitting on 4s.
Yes.
1 save. Save of 4. There we go. Okay.
Wasn't as good as I hoped, but
No, but you have a disorder on this unit, which
That's a
means
good
that they're not really going to be doing anything next turn.
that makes me happy.
So,
See, what I would have done if the closest unit rule wasn't there is I would have used these guys to fire at them, get another shaken on them, but
well, unfortunately, we couldn't quite get that. So, right, when we come back, French. Okay, so French turn 5. Obviously, this unit here managed to move up and form a firing line here, so we can fire those 95th over there. And the chasseurs managed to move up there. This unit obviously disordered and didn't do anything. However, now it is French shooting. So, here we go. So,
making the comeback.
this unit here will be firing at the 95th there. So that's 3 dice hitting on 5s.
I'll get my casualty ready.
That's no hits.
Oh,
Okay.
that makes me happy.
This unit here will be firing at that unit there.
I'll get my
So that's 3 dice hitting on 4s. It's 1 hit.
1 save.
1 save of 4.
No.
No,
that
not
is
saved.
1
So that's a casualty on that unit.
Finally.
And that's it for French shooting. So when we come back, we will be on a British turn 6. Okay, so British turn 6. So Cam did an interesting roll, an interesting order. He decided that his line battalions would engage my guys into hand-to-hand combat
And with a bit
and
of randomness.
charge them with bayonets. So we did the closing fire. Obviously, both of them managed to get disorder on them. So because obviously the combat obscures firing, that means that these guys can't actually shoot at anybody, and neither can these little green so-and-sos in the woods either.
But it also means your cavalry can't do nothing.
Yes, it does move. Well, maybe.
Well, they could move around.
They may be able to move around and charge you in the flank or something.
Yeah, but it's turn 6.
Okay.
It's last turn. Thought
Yes.
I'd end it with a bit of fun.
So, obviously, to begin with, we have the hand-to-hand combat. So, I've got 6 dice, and Cam has 6 dice as well, so do you want to get your 6 dice? So, which combat do you want to start with?
I would like to start with the one that started it all, this lot.
This one here, okay, so you have 6 dice hitting on. Let me just double check this.
I believe that's fours.
Plus 1 for charging, minus 1 for shaken or disordered. So you're hitting on 5s.
5s?
You're hitting on 5s. But so am I, for that unit.
Well, that's 2. I'll take it.
Yep, so it's 2.
2 saves.
So 2 saves of 4. 1 save, so there's 1 casualty.
Nice.
But that means they will become shaken.
And also disordered
Yeah.
because it was 2 6s.
Well, that doesn't count for hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, no fun.
So mine is, and I am hitting on 5s as well. 1, 2, so it's 2 saves of 4.
Uh-oh, I'm in danger. Never mind, I'm not in danger.
No, so I lost combat there by 1. So I'm rolling with a minus 1. It became shaken during the combat, so that's 7 down to 6.
Yeah,
7 down to 6. The unit retires 1 full move to its rear without changing formation.
Again.
So they come back. 1 full move. So now then, these guys. So Cam, you have 6 dice.
Absolutely. I will happily
Hitting
take some.
On 5s.
Give me a little one. How'd that happen?
Yeah, you got your 6 dice.
Yay.
Hitting on 5s.
Because then they're obviously.
Oh dear.
1, 2,
That's
3,
4.
4.
That's 4 saves of 4.
Please, RNG gods.
Ouch.
That makes me happy. Chances are you'll have me done because I have a casualty on them and I'm just sorted already, so fun.
3, 4, 5, 6. So I got 6 dice hitting on 4s.
1,
2. 2 saves of 4.
Oh, who knows? You might get me shaken.
No.
You did not.
Okay, so
you
I lost that.
me and I just sort of went,
I lost combat, and so I'm rolling with a minus 4. And
you are very dead.
Yeah, they've gone.
I'm sorry.
They've gone. And I think on that we should actually call time. So we'll just do a quick tally up, and then. Okay, so we decided not to do French turn 6, quite simply because, well, there wasn't much point. As all we really have is this unit here, which can't really do a lot, and then the chasseurs. So that was an outstanding British victory there. Well done, Cam.
Hello.
Yes, very good. So, I mean, the French have lost 2 units, so in theory you won a couple of turns ago anyway, when you broke them. But, yes, so that was an outstanding British victory. Not bad. I think this is only our 2nd game of Black Powder. Mm-hmm. 2nd or 3rd game of Black Powder altogether. Yeah. So obviously we will be having some more. When I'm able to get some more French painted up, then we will see if we can actually have a couple of brigades rather than just a single brigade each. But
also means larger table.
The next one will most probably be a single brigade each, but we may mix it up by giving the British a little bit of cavalry. So stay tuned, and then hopefully we'll have a little bit more. See you all soon. Bye.